Hello everyone, welcome to Camp Pooh Bear for the night. I am at mile marker on the Pacific Crest Trail 476, I think. Yeah, I think that's about where I'm at. I'm going to have to look at, double check to make sure. People have asked about when I'm out on the trail, what do I do for food. I've mentioned before, if you guys remember one of my earlier videos, that I always put these bags, I take all my food out of the Mountain House bags, I stick them in these Ziploc baggies. And I'm sure you all have wondered why I do that. These are Ziploc heavy-duty freezer bags. Then what I do when I'm out on the trail with these is I take my jet boil, heat the water up in a jet boil, which using a jet boil, the water only takes about 30 seconds to heat up. And there's a marker inside here because there really is no measuring when you're out here on the trail. And I just take the water right here and I just dump it right inside of my bag like this. And then I take the bag itself and I stick it back down inside the jet boil. And the reason I do that is it makes it much easier so I don't have to keep cleaning my jet boil out all the time. It makes lower trash. And then so I just kind of stir everything up inside here in the jet boil. Whoa, that water's hot. Some just spilled out on me. And I just set it down on the side. Sometimes you got to play with it just a little bit to get the air pockets out. But that's not a big deal. Then you just set, after you fold the freezer bag down around the sides like this. I don't know how well you can see that, I'm a little bit far away. And then you just kind of put the lid on your jet boil. And just kind of let it sit there and set for 5 minutes. We've been out today, and today was just another short day out here on the trail. I hiked, I think, 10.2 miles, took a couple breaks. I think I mentioned last week if you read my blog, that I had tripped on one and fell down a little bit down one of the hillsides. Well, I kind of messed up fell on my right shoulder, which is my injured shoulder. So just be on the safe side because I do have the ability to do that while I'm out here. I went into town, went back into Lancaster, readjusted all my gear, took out a bunch of food. I decided that it was much more important to have water than it was to have as much food on there. We're talking a little bit while we're letting this food cook up a little bit, because as you see now, I didn't have to do anything. I just kind of sat here. You know, one of the big lessons I learned when I was out on the Pacific, Appalachian Trail, was to start off the hike with a bunch of low miles, kind of get used to carrying your backpack. You know, after not having a backpack on for about a year. Let me see if I can scoot up a little bit closer. I'm not having a backpack on for about a year. You know, you really do get out of shape with, you know, carrying your backpack, because the muscles you use with the backpack are much different than the muscles that you use with any other workout that you do when you're walking up and down the hills. You know, we started this, so ended up taking a 0 day yesterday. I think we did 8.9 miles, maybe 9 miles the very first day, then about 2.2 miles, and I went into town, so I would have been technically a Nero. Then I took a 0 yesterday just to kind of readjust and kind of go through all my gear and kind of work out some of the bugs. Now I'm back out today. I'm going to hike for about 3, maybe 4 days. There was a big fire here in this area, the Powerhouse Fire, that was in 2013. So I'm going to travel up about 2.2 miles, and I'm going to have to take a detour, which is why I decided to go ahead and camp here tonight. And I'm basically going to be road walking for probably about 25, maybe 30 miles to get around where the fire area was. The fire was a really big fire in 2013. Some people may wonder why you're still not getting on the trail. The fire's out. Well, there's a lot of erosion and stuff like that, so they got to wait for the vegetation to come back. So right now we're just kind of hanging out, and we're going to kind of do what we need to do and go around the trail. But I wanted to show you a little bit. I'd also mentioned too that one of the things I like to carry, I've got in this bag here some powdered cream of broccoli soup, and I just happened to be cooking tonight. I'm cooking some kind of noodles and rice. Oh, beef stroganoff is what I'm having tonight. Well, when you're out here on the trail, oftentimes because we're not measuring things, some of the stuff that you get is kind of soupy, you know, when you get it on there, just because, you know, we're not measuring any things, and to kind of so to thicken stuff up and add calories, one of the things I like to do is I carry these soups with me like this, so then I can just go through and I can just add however much soup that I want. Sometimes I have cream of noodle soup. Sometimes I have, like I've got now, this chicken broccoli soup, which is something I really like. You know, just find what kind of soups, other kind of powdered soups that you like. And I always like to carry them with me, because if I do make something a little bit soupy, like when I'm cooking these mountain houses, because I don't write any of the instructions down on them. I probably could, but I just don't want to, I don't take time to do the measurements and stuff like that, because I'm just out here, hiking, and to me it doesn't need to be like it's perfect. The important thing is I have a nice meal with a lot of calories, and this already thickened this up quite a bit. I'm just going to sit here and let this set for just a little bit more and let it stew up. One of the other things I just wanted to mention to you guys when we're out here, you got to hike your own hike. Everybody talks so much different stuff about what to do the difference, whether it's the Appalachian Trail or the Pacific Crest Trail, whatever trail that you're on out there. Even if you're just doing a short day hike, some of the most important things you can have is, you don't always know your trail as well as you might want to, but let people know when you're going out. Another, probably one of the most important things to me, especially out here, is making sure you have enough water. And when you do bring the water, you just one of the ways to keep your quench thirst is to drink lots of water over the course of the day. As I'm hiking down through there, I just don't just wait until I get deathly thirsty and then down a whole liter of water. I'm just always sipping on water throughout the day. So I find that for me, that kind of keeps the thirst down. And then when I do need to drink something, I don't need to drink it as much, and it's definitely much more satisfying. One of the things is there's some great apps out there, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about them in the next day or so. Maybe I'll read about, let you put on my blog. I need to make some notes on those, so I make sure I tell you which ones I'm using. One of the things I'm trying out this year, and on this, while I'm doing these so-called practice hikes of the Pacific Crest Trail, is I'm using these I got 2 different phone apps that I'm using. I'm kind of going back and forth between them, trying to find which I like the best. I think one's called Halftime PC, and the other is like Halftime PCT is one of them. I think that's the free software from the Pacific Crest Trail Association. I got that as part of the fee when I joined them. Of course, there's also still the paper books, and some people say, make sure you keep those along with you. But again, this is all about weight, and especially with me, with my shoulder, I got to keep my backpack weight down as low as possible all the time, especially if I want to complete these. Something else I want to just kind of touch on real quick, because I stopped earlier on today, found a real nice trail angel hut that was on the trail. It was a cutout in the tree, and had some nice chairs and stuff like that, and some water catch there. And a water catch is any place where Trail Angels brings water. It's not a spring or anything like that. There's usually gallons of water. Well, while I was there eating lunch, I made sure I took off my shoes and socks, gave my feet a chance to breathe, which really helped out a lot. Just a couple days in on the hike, I already noticed going up and down the hills weren't nearly as strenuous on me today as what it was the first day I went out. But of course, I dropped a bunch of weight in my backpack. The interesting part about it is I dropped over 10 pounds out of my backpack, but 10 of that, or 9 of that was odds and ends. I'm still carrying almost as much water. I think I carried 5 liters out of water today. I think I started off with maybe 6.5 before. So that was only 4 of the pounds. I was still able to figure out enough gear that I had in there, which was some double stuff. There was some papers. I was trying out. I had 2 different styles of paper maps plus my phone maps. I had a couple different battery chargers that I wanted to see which one I thought worked the best. So I was just carrying way too much weight, even being out here practicing. It's a big difference I've noticed between coming out here and hiking, doing my normal hikes when I would just come out and I'd hike 15, 20 miles and just have a slack pack on, versus having my full backpack on. The weight makes a big difference when you're doing. You feel it more in your knees. You need to take more breaks, especially when you get going. Those are just kind of some tips I want to give you for tonight. I'm going to take off my shoes here, kick back and relax. I'm going to write up a blog and maybe see if I can't get some internet and post a couple pictures. I don't think I've got any service down here, so I have to wait until the next couple of days. So you'll see this, and by the time you see this video, I'll be on up the trail a little bit further. Just want to thank you guys all for watching Hiking for Wellness. If you can, please go check out our website, hikingforwellness.com. Also, probably going to get tired of hearing me say this, but please go check out neurofibromatosis online. There's a link on our website. You can find more out about it. If you know somebody who may have this, you know some kids that have this, please go out and support them. Encourage them to be outdoors. And with that, I'm going to let you guys all go. Hope you have a wonderful evening. Just remember, we love you. Be good. Stay safe. Bye.